So I have not played Diablo for the expansion in quite a bit of time. I unfortunately I'm not too thrilled with the expansion. I'm not too thrilled with the game mechanics. They've changed. It seemed like before you would work towards something, get a goal. In this one, you have goals, but they're very different goals. They're very nothing really changes in the game when you achieve a goal. You don't really see a difference per se. Spiritborn, I don't know if they're just too OP, but I've kind of run into the same problem on this character as well. Even though they're only level 17, it just seemed like a mirror of what was going on, and it didn't seem fun to me at this point. I've decided to back away from Diablo. I will continue to monitor Diablo. Maybe they'll make changes in the future. It's a possibility, but as of right now, the game just seems a little stale. It seems to be in a state of repetitive, motionless, zombie style, just nonsense. And I'm not into that. Like I said before, it was very different. It was very, even though it was very grindy grind, but you had a grindy grind goal, and those grindy grind goals were all different. These all just seemed like the same thing. And I don't know what made them do that change. Um, was there some kind of mess up or uh, internal thing or something they noticed or something was going on? I didn't notice anything myself, but I really don't know what they saw, why they made that change. But I think it was, for me, it's detriment. Maybe to other people they like it. I personally, I'm not a fan, and I do know that a couple of my friends have also stepped back from this game as well for various reasons, and um, gameplay is one of them. So I will say, like I'm on my bar, this is not done as much as my Spiritborn. Spiritborn has a lot more done, but and this is my fourth bar, third bar, whatever it is on this, which I do like the Barbarian class. They're very good, as a class. Very solo oriented, which is what I am. But I will say, like, as the game is right now, I would say it's not what it used to be. The fun is gone um, from this game. It's a little lackluster at the moment. I think I'm going to go ahead and step away. I will ultimately, um, make a final decision on it. Probably in the coming month or two. See what they do to the game. Maybe they'll change it, update it. Maybe they'll add something. I don't know, but as of right now, no. Just gonna back away. Um, and final recommendation for a dungeon crawler that you've never played. If this is your first time playing Diablo, it's a wonderful game. You will do it. But if you've been playing Diablo 4 since it came out a couple years ago, year and a half or so ago, it's probably not the game for you. At least in my eyes. Um, Basically the same dungeons with the same monsters, few upgraded skin differences, but and you may run into a monster or something that looks a little unique, but nothing overall that would stand out as far as monsters or villains or mobs or nothing. Bosses, they all look the same. They all feel the same. Nothing has changed in my opinion. They added class, the Spiritborn class, and you know, it was very OP, even lower level. And I've heard they've kind of fixed that a little bit, but overall it's not fun. And it's kind of what I'll say. Not knocking, the company or anything else, but I think there was just a kind of a not a step forward made with the expansion. It was sort of a sidestep, a step across. It wasn't a step forward, you know. And I think they've made this game too much like previous Diablo versions. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Diablo. I've been playing since Diablo One, but this is not where I thought they were going to go with this game. When I first read about it, what it was going to be, I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it would be interesting, something to do. This is There's no interest in this game. This is boring. You know, you added new Lilith type statues down here, and these things here, the tenants of Akarat. Um, and you tried to give them a puzzle type feel. I just think they're dumb. Very. And you've completely infested this entire area with these things to try to put so many in there, and they're very dumb. It's like a puzzle. And this thing here, like you have to have a team to do this special dungeon thing over crap that's somewhere. I forgot where it is now. Oh, I can't access it on here. Right. Um, Somewhere over here. You gotta have a team to do it, and then like they'll kick you out. Like there's no rhyme or reason to that type of crap. That is not fun to me. That forcing us to team up like that's not fun. Not at all. And yeah, I only got one of these on this account, um, but I've kind of seen how they work. I'm not impressed. Really not impressed. Um, this little weird crap you did over here, where it's like you gotta walk through blind. That was not fun either. That whole idea was not fun. It was boring. You tried to add something new to a dungeon that didn't need anything new. The dungeons that didn't need stuff new. What you should have added new was more dungeon types, more dungeon arena areas, and different monsters, different types of mobs. You know, right now you have mobs that, you know, you're trying to bring all the monsters together, whereas you had different levels for different difficulties and they're weaker. Them being weaker doesn't do anything for anybody. Absolutely does nothing. It's not a challenge. Their mechanics don't work the way they should without them hitting as hard. Or if you have, or they hitting you less, however you want to look at it. You do less damage. You're not scared of those monsters. And your, you know, Helltide events or whatever you want to call them, are way less fun. Way less fun. Um, when I can just walk around one-shotting mobs and the boss absolutely can't do anything on my barb, um, Lilith, the whatever she is, what's it called? Uh, the blood mate, kind of looks like Lilith. She basically comes out of the ground. Her fire attacks, none of her attacks do crap diddly jack to my barb, and I think it's dumb. You made no challenge to this game. You made no effort to make it better, and I don't really know why. Like it's like that. I expect more from the creators of Diablo. Um, and when I heard the expansion, I was very kind of intrigued. You know, a new class, new areas, new. They said, "Oh, new monsters, new mechanics, new dungeons." I, New dungeons. You have a dungeon down here that is the worst dungeon ever. the mechanics in it are it's like a time trial slash dungeon. But honestly, if you have anything higher than legendary gear, you're gonna blow through that dungeon. That's not a challenge. That's garbage. You know, you had different areas before where you had to be a certain level, or your monsters would increase difficulty and stuff like that with each level, and difficulty went up and tier and stuff like that. They increase difficulty only with tier, but they jump so dramatically from tier to tier that it's you basically got to max a character out at the difficulty you are. Go to the next tier, max a character out, keep going up. I want to get to the end tier to get to this end game crap as fast as possible. What you made us do is, at least from my experience, it jumps so much to going up one tier. Not like, you know, I'm struggling to beat these mobs now. It's not what it's like. It's like I can't kill these mobs now. And you have to literally have gear from that area in order to kill anything. The only way to do that is to be strong enough. So in the previous level, air difficulty, you got to literally power up as much as you can, do everything you can, and then go to the next one until you get to the Paragon stuff. Paragon will, I will say, make a lot of difference. So when you get to level 60 and you max it out, you get Paragons, put all that crap on, you get all those extra stat bonuses and whatever. That's wonderful. But again, it wasn't like that before. Why is it like that now? Yes, Paragon was always a cheat code, but you've made it basically a necessity. So basically, you gotta max it out on whatever level you can get to 60, get Paragon, and then start doing everything. For why? It sounds not fun. The whole idea. The helpers, the whatever you got, you have like a minion or those mercenaries or whatever you call them. Honestly, I feel like they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. The only one that's useful is the guy when if you do it right, you set it up for a skill to where he'll come in and give you a barrier where you can't take damage for a brief time. That's the only thing that's useful. The rest of that crap feels like they don't do any damage or whatever. It just none of that seems worth it. That just seems like a mechanic y'all wasted y'all's time on. 100%. In my opinion. 100%. That could have been so much better. So much better. You could have done so much more with that. It just seems like a waste to have it. And I mean, I don't know per se how I will say like how graphics work and dungeon mechanics and all that stuff. I understand there's computer code that's involved in it, and you can only go so far based on the your starting whatever. You know, they change it so much, do so much, or whatever. And I get that, but there's got to be something more you could have done to do that, and it just seems like you wasted time putting effort into areas that to me didn't need fixing or changed, and then you added crap that's not fun. It's useless to me. I'm a solo character. I've always liked playing solo. You've made this to where this has to be a team effort or nothing. That one area you can't do by yourself. It's impossible. You need at least two people to open doors and crap. You can't do anything by yourself. So tell me, you know, where the fun, where the nuance is. And then nothing is new. Basically, everything is the same. You've added very few new quests as far as like side quests, missions, and whatnot. Whereas down here, you added a whole new campaign mode. True. Also boring. Um, Really, nothing else is new um, about it. Everything just seems blah. So, in my opinion, you've done absolutely nothing. So, in conclusion, this will probably be my last video um, on this game. I will say that you kind of, in my opinion, made it worse than what it was. You could have done so much more, in my opinion, to make it better, make it new. Um, you have a lot of empty spaces and gaps and places, and I get you have to do transitional areas and whatnot, but I could see so much potential in this game and what it is. You know, Lilith is still the, main campaign boss, chick or whatever, but you can skip that now, by the way. So you don't really even have to fight her. Um, and then you've made this new campaign side thing that ends weird to me. It's very dumb. You have this other weird crap that you got, and none of it just seems fun. To be bluntly honest, it's all boring, and you know, it's just you just could have done so much. And I will say down here, this, yeah, this is the one, Shakar, however you say that word, Shakar, whatever. Um, it's kind of a mechanic down here that they tried to make new, but it's not really new. It's boring. You know, you, I just think you wasted time. Like you did nothing. To me, that's good. You added Spiritborn. Yay, they've got cool looking animal spirits. Yay. Awesome. It's okay, but it's not great. First, you made their skills way too overpowered, and then you tried to fix them, which you didn't. In my opinion, it's the same. They feel the exact same. I tested it off camera. It feels the exact same. I did not record it because it just felt the same to me, and I really just went off on a tangent and just deleted the video on it. Let's just say that because it's dumb. You, you literally changed nothing. It feels like to me, you change nothing, and they still do the exact same thing, and they're still overpowered as all get out. Yeah, it drives me crazy. Um, that feeling when the games has, and I've played other games like this. I come from originally, you know, playing these types of games for a long time. Played for, and I still currently do every once in a while. I still play it, but um, a game that's been out for 20 years, and it's an RPG, and I will say it's an Asian game based in it, originally from an Asian country, and it's overall it's a fun game. But over the years, they've added things that have made it worse, not better. And you try to negate a class by doing certain things, and all you do is make another class OP. and then you try to negate that class, and then you flip it and make one class useless, or then you flip it and make another class OP, or then you come up with a new class and you make that class OP, or you make that class so hard to play, so complicated to play that you need a like a doctorate or something, a physics degree or science degree or something, mathematics degree or something. Like you're talking about like there's no reason for things to be that complicated. And this game is guilty of it too. You have a class that's so easy to play, you can fall asleep and still play it. And you have one class that once you get to end game, you can set it up to where you can fall asleep and play it. So yeah. And then you have a class in here that is so uber complicated to play. I won't mention it. And I've played it. I can play it. I leveled up a character previously on a previous account when I first started playing this game originally, and I do have one on that account. I'm not gonna show it because I can't because I've lost the account information or whatever on that one. But I will say that one I played it. It was like once you get to a certain level, you basically one shot everything, and then bosses or whatever you kite until you kill them, which is hard, and just keep going like that. And that was boring. But it starts out so weak, but then because it's a complicated class to play, you have to get to a certain point for them to be good, and there's no reason for that. But then you have a class that I think is you have two you have two classes in here that are basically the same thing, in my opinion. Barbarians are the exact same stupid thing as druids. They just have different skills. In my absolute opinion, they do. It seems like I've seen them both in game. Let's just say that, and I don't like how similar they really are. Yeah, and that's the problem with the other game that I used to play as well. There was you, which is why they've tried to change that game because you essentially made it to where the classes were the same, do the same crap and whatever. Essentially, you just made one area of the game too OP, and it wasn't their fault. They probably didn't do it on purpose. It's just the mechanics of the game, and it's the same thing here. I get it. Sometimes the mechanics of the game accidentally slip by you because you can't test everything. There's no possible way you can come up with every scenario that players like us are going to happen to do because there's millions of us. Just never know how we're going to build a character, and that one way they build a character could just turn it into mush. I get it. Glitch it, whatever. It just happens, and I get that. But yeah. So, you know, in conclusion to all this, if this is your first time playing it, more power to you. You'll love it for a couple months, and then you won't. So, personally, I would not recommend this game to novices of the genre. I would not recommend this to anybody but medium to serious players of the genre, medium to serious players, gamers in general. This is not for the faint of heart. Not that the horror crap and the gore and stuff, you barely could see any of it. Even with a high quality TV, and I've seen it, you don't see much, it doesn't show much, and this is supposed to be like a horror genre slash MMO because they're fighting, but it's not. You don't fight. The gore in this is nothing. Yeah, gore in this game is very disappointing. In my opinion. All this is blood. And I get they were trying to make more people play this game and whatnot, but you know, I mean, look, you have dead carcasses, which is the most they show, by the way. A little bit of blood, a little bit of blood. That's it. And then they kill people. They chop off a head, but all you see is blood. You don't see nothing else. You don't see nothing. In my opinion, this is not it's not very horror, gory, demon genre esque to me. None of it. So I'll say, if you like it, you like it. More power to you. Good luck with the grind. But it's an easy game to play. Pick a necromancer, go minion build. You will crap. Pick a spiritborn, easy as crap. You're no problem. I do wish they had added the next class they're going to add because I think they're going to come out with a new class. I don't know specifically what that class is going to be called, but if let's take a little short detour here and talk about that. So if we go to create a new character, so you have a spiritborn. So there are spear, sort of monkish type character, um, whatever. This is obviously the barbarian, your tank class. This sorcerer class, wizard, sorcerer, whatever. Necromancer is also magic, but they do physical. They have physical attacks because of the minions and stuff like that. You have this druid class, which is basically a physical attack magic class, which is weird. And then you have an archer, a rogue. They're not necessarily archers because they can do ranged or up close, so they're called rogues. And I get that. Okay, I believe that they have set up this to, and they kind of show it in the campaign of the Spirit War. I can't specifically tell you what part of it, but it feels like they've sort of done the base for a new class. And I don't know if it's true or if I'm just reading into something. But it feels like there's another class coming. And I don't know what it's going to be specifically, but I believe it's going to be because if you think about it right now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 ranged classes. You have 1, 2 melee physical classes. Now, yes, rogues can melee. Technically, all these classes can melee, but in my opinion, they're more straightforward. They're more ranged than melee. Okay, barbs basically don't have really much of a ranged attack, except I think they just don't have a range. All their classes, their skills are more up close and personal. Even this little video kind of shows it. So, because they get right up on them, which is the idea. They're a tank, I get it, whatever. But I think they're going to come out with another class, and I think that class may be a paladin type class. I don't know if that's what's going to be called, a paladin or something like that, or what I actually believe they're going to do is actually an undead knight class. I don't know that for sure. Again, it's just something I read into when I watched the Spiritborn campaign trailer. I mean, the Spiritborn campaign and the trailer for the Spiritborn and just everything that I've seen in this game. I feel like they're going to make some kind of knight class. I don't know why I think it's going to be an undead knight. It doesn't make any sense why they would do that, but because they fight the undead. But I just feel like for some reason I'm leaning more toward that. I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like that. So I just think that I would have rather have seen that class than what they came out with. And not that the Spiritborn's bad, I just think they could have done better. And that's all I'll say. So like, share, and subscribe if y'all do like this video. I will be creating videos on other games. I think I'm gonna go for the time being and play another game that I have actually meant to finish. I've just been kind of distracted by everything else. So do want to say happy holidays to everybody. You celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate. Happy holidays and all that good stuff. And be safe out there. Be careful of all the crazy people, just in general. Um, thank y'all.